All right, let's dive into what might just be the single most powerful secret weapon for your performance and your long term health. It's called Zone 2 training. And yeah, it's the engine behind the world's greatest athletes. But the amazing thing is, these benefits are there for every single one of us. So let's get into how it all works. Our story actually starts with a bit of a mystery. It starts on the roads of the Tour de France, with an athlete whose body was doing things that, well, they just didn't seem possible. I mean, think about that quote. That's how experts were describing Tadej Pogacar, a two-time champion. His performance wasn't just a little better, it was so off the charts that it made scientists think something fundamentally different had to be going on inside his cells. So what was it? What was his secret? Well, when his coach, the famous physiologist Iñigo San Millán, finally got him in the lab, the results were just staggering. Pogacar could push an insane amount of power, but his blood lactate, that stuff that makes your muscles burn and forces you to slow down, it barely budged. It stayed near resting levels. He was basically fatigue-proof. Now, you'd think the key to this superpower has to be some kind of rare genetic gift, right? Or some cutting-edge space-age tech. But it wasn't. It was his body's absolute mastery of a very specific and honestly pretty moderate training intensity. And that is Zone 2. And I want you to really pay attention to this definition. We're not just talking about some number on your heart rate monitor. We are talking about a very precise physiological state where you are literally upgrading your body's engines, your mitochondria. So when you're in this zone, three amazing things are happening. One, you're firing up your marathon muscles, those type 1 fibers built for endurance. Two, you're teaching your body to become a fat-burning machine, tapping into this massive clean fuel tank. And three, and this is so cool, you're training your cells to take lactate, which we used to think was just waste, and recycle it into superfuel. To really get why this is such a game changer, we have to zoom in, way in. We're going from the epic scale of the Tour de France right down into the microscopic world of your muscle cells. Okay, so you basically have two kinds of muscle fibers. Think of your type 1 fibers as your steady, all-day diesel engines. They run on fat, they're packed with these little energy factories called mitochondria, and they can just go and go. Your type 2 fibers, they're your drag racers. They run on sugar for quick, explosive bursts of power. Zone 2 training is all about building up that incredible diesel engine. So what does this actually look like in practice? This first graph shows it all. It's a tale of two engines, one elite, one untrained. We're looking at how much lactate is in the blood as the power output on a bike gets harder and harder. Just look at that blue line for the pro athlete. It's almost flat. They're cranking out 300 watts, a truly punishing effort, and their body is just calmly clearing lactate. Now, look at the red line, the untrained person. Their lactate level skyrockets almost immediately. Any little bit of effort and their system is flooded. That right there is the sign of an inefficient metabolic engine. But now for the second graph. This one shows us what's really going on under the hood. This is the secret. Here we're looking at how much fat each person is burning for fuel as the intensity goes up. And the difference is just wow. The elite athlete is a fat-burning furnace. And look, their peak fat-burning ability happens at a really high intensity, over 250 watts. The untrained person, though, they barely tap into their fat stores before their body panics and has to switch over to burning precious sugar. This ability to use fat as fuel is what we call metabolic flexibility, and it is the absolute key. So, how do they do it? How do the elites clear all that lactate while burning tons of fat? They have perfected this amazing biological process that turns what should be a liability into a massive advantage. It's called the lactate shuttle, and you can think of it like an incredibly efficient recycling program inside your muscles. So instead of letting lactate build up in your blood and cause fatigue, a highly trained body grabs it, shuttles it from those sugar-burning fibers over to the fat-burning fibers, where the mitochondria are just waiting to gobble it up and turn it back into clean energy. It's absolutely brilliant. Now for the best part of this whole story. These incredible adaptations, this elite engine, it's not just for the pros. You can build the very same system. The first step, though, is figuring out where is your personal zone 2. And you've got options. On the far end, there's the gold standard lab test. Super accurate, but also expensive and hard to access. In the middle, you can use at-home lactate meters to get really precise data. But then, there's a simple, free, and shockingly effective method that anyone, and I mean anyone, can use right now. It is the talk test, and it's so simple. You just exercise at an intensity where you can speak in full sentences, but the person on the other end of the phone can definitely tell you're exercising. You sound a little breathy. If you're gasping for air, you're going too hard. If you sound like you're sitting on the couch, you're going too easy. It sounds old school, I know, but trust me, it works beautifully. Okay, so you know what Zone 2 is. You know how to find it. Now for the most important question of all. What's the prescription? How much of this do you actually need to do to see these incredible, lasting changes? The science on this is actually really clear. We're looking for what we call the minimum effective dose, the smallest input that delivers the biggest results for building that better metabolic engine. The ideal frequency? It seems to be 3 to 4 sessions a week. That consistency is the signal your body needs to start building more mitochondria and getting more efficient. 2 sessions a week might help you maintain, but if you want to really improve, 3 to 4 is the sweet spot. And the magic duration for each of those sessions? 1 hour. 60 minutes. Sure, the pros are doing this for hours and hours on end, but the research shows that a solid 60-minute workout is powerful enough to trigger all those amazing metabolic adaptations we've been talking about. And hey, if you want a little pro tip to get the absolute best of both worlds, try this. After you've done your hour of Zone 2, finish the workout with one short 5-minute blast of high intensity. This trains your top-end speed and power without messing up all the amazing endurance work you just did. And I really want to end on this because it's so important to remember. This goes so far beyond just running a faster 5K. Building this flexible, fat-burning metabolic engine is one of the single most powerful things you can do for your long-term health and your longevity. The science is undeniable. The capacity for elite metabolic health isn't something reserved for a few genetic freaks. It's built, it's earned, session by session, in that steady conversational zone. Your body has an elite engine. The only question is, are you training it?